Hello and welcome to Miss Riley's Maths videos. This is Form 3 ordinary level class. And it was a difficult enough test, so what I'm going to do is go through the solutions so that you can watch at home and pause and in this financial maths test, it's important that you show your method, because if you write down a wrong answer, even if it's only off by 10 cent or 20 cent, for me to be able to give you marks, I need to be able to see your work, and your work has to be correct. So find 20% of 350 over 100. So 1% is 1 over 100. Remember that, yeah? So to find 1% by dividing by 100 and multiply by 20 to find 20%. So we've got 350 divided by 100. Now there's different ways of doing this. You could also do 350 times 20 over 100, or even 350. These are all possible ways. I don't mind which way you do it. You're going to get the same answer each time, 70. Okay, here's an income tax question. Tamara earns gross income is 28,000. She pays income tax at 21%, so tax rate. She has a tax credit of 1,940. So the first thing we're asked to do is to calculate Tamara's gross income tax. So I'm going to put it in a box like we've been doing, 28,000, and it's going to be taxed at 21%. 28,000. We take her total gross income and we find 21% of it. So 28,000 divided by 100, 8,000 divided by 100, and then multiplied by 21. So 5. Tamara's gross income tax is 5,880. Gross income tax. Is going to be her gross tax, gross income tax, but minus her tax credit, because remember she gets that she's paid her tax. So 5,880 is her gross income tax. Her tax credit is 1,940. So we're going to take minus 1,940, which is 3,940. So the amount of tax she actually has to pay, credit has been taken into account, is 3,940. Tamara's take-home pay will be her gross income. My gross income was 28,000. Her tax payable was 3,940, and the difference between those 28,000 is 24,060. Okay, that's her take-home pay. Most of the questions follow that pattern. You find the income tax, and then you take away the tax credit to get the tax payable, and then the gross income and subtracting the tax that's going to the government. Okay? Please make sure you show your work and make sure you're doing. Okay, so Lainey invests 20,000 euro for 2 years and compound interest. So Lainey, at the start of year 1, remember you calculate the interest for each year. So it compounds, it adds on to itself. So year 1 is 20,000 euro. Year 1 interest, well, it's going to be 3% of 20,000. So that's going to be 20,000 divided by, so 20,000 divided by 100 multiplied by 3 equals 600 euro. So 600 euro is her interest. Year one interest equals 600. If we add that, so year one end is going to be 20,000 plus 600. So Lainey at the end of year one has 20,600 euro. That's our answer. Here's how much does Lainey have? So year two start is going to be what she had at the end of year one. So equals year one end, unless something happens and she pays money back or takes money out or whatever. Interest, well, that's going to be 3% of 20,600. So 20,600 divided by 20,600 divided by 100 multiplied by 3 is 618 euro. So our interest for the second year, one, is going to be 618 euro. So if we add those together, we get 21,218. Lainey has at the end of year two, Lainey has 21,218. Okay. Fiona and Tara travel to London to go to a concert. The tickets to the concert cost £80 each. The exchange to €1.17. What was the price of a ticket in euros? So remember, when we're trying to find whatever currency we're trying to find, if it's euro, that should go on the right. Do you remember we said about that? So we set up our exchange rate. £1 buys us €1.17. So what we're looking for is euro. £1, so £80. Now, how many lots of £1 are there in £80? There's 80. I have to multiply £1 by £80. If I multiply one side by 80, I have to multiply the other side by 80. So 80 multiplied by 1.17, 93.60. Okay, it's another way of saying it is for every £1 we have £80. We can buy €1.17 times 80 is €93.60. So the ticket is €93.60. Oliver buys a computer game from the USA. The price of the game in dollars. The exchange rate is €1 equals $1.38. So how much, including postage, how much? I don't actually have to do any exchange rate at present. The game is 42. The postage is 7. So he's in postage. All right, sorry, for the game. Sorry, not in postage. He pays €7 in dollars, which is what we were asked. So no exchange rate, just fine. So it's $49. How much in euros will the game cost? So we're looking at 38. So we'll have to change that round because we need what we want to find on the right. So $1.38 is equal to €1. We want to find out euros is $49. So to do that, we've got to find out how many euros is $1, and we find that out by dividing by 1.38. Okay, $1.38, we have to divide by 1.38 to find $1. $1 is equal to 1 divided 0.72. Let's say 0.72 euros. So $1 is 0.72. How much is $49 then? We're going by 0.72 is €35.28. So €35.28. So Oliver pays in euro $35.28. Just really. In terms of marks, there was 5 marks for this part, 5 marks for A, 5 marks for A, 5 marks for B, 5 marks for question 4, 5 marks. Usually any correct step will get you 2 marks out of 5. So if you did a correct step, even if you didn't get the question right, you get 2 marks out of 5. A challenge question at the end, and then we'll be done. So Robert borrows 10,000 from the bank to buy a car. He borrows it for 3 years at a rate of 4%. At €5,000 to the bank, the interest rate stays at 4% for the 3rd year. So Robert's borrowing some money. After 2 years, he pays back 5,000 euros. Let's do it our normal way. Year 1 start is equal to 10,000. Year 1 interest is going to be 10,000. So 10,000 divided by 100 multiplied by 4. 10,000 divided by 100. So year 1 interest is €400. Add those up. 10,400. So that's year 1 end is 10,400. Year 2 interest. So it's going to be 4% of 10,400 divided by 100 multiplied by 4. 10,400 divided by 100 multiplied by 4. So 416. 10,816. So at the end of year 2, he owes 10,816 to the bank. Year 2, Robert owes 10,816 to the bank. Now what he does is he has this €5,000 that he's going to pay back. So at the end of year 2, he's got 10,816 minus the 5,000 he pays back. So 5,816. So at the year 3 start, he only owes 5,816. Year 3 interest, it's still 4%. 4% of 5,816. So 5,816 divided by 100 multiplied by 4. So that's going to be €232.64. So add those together. So €6,048.64. So year 3 end. So the end of year 3, Robert owes €6,048.64 at the end of year 3. Now, how much extra did Robert have to pay back to the bank on top of the 10,000 he borrowed? So this is really asking how much interest. So at end year 2, he paid 5,000. At end year 3, he paid €6,048.64. So altogether, he paid back €11,048.64 if I add those two together. But he only borrowed 10,000. So the extra bit that he paid is €11,048.64 minus €10,000. So €1,048.64. So that's the extra he had to pay in interest? That was a hard question at the end, but I wanted to give you something that was a little bit challenging. Okay, look back over it again if you need to, or ask me in class. Okay, well done. Thank you.